With a resounding applause, please welcome with me Dr. Olori Boye-Ajayi.
I'm very pleased to be having this fireside chat because I strongly believe as well that whatever information it is that the Olori would be sharing will also be useful to me. The topic is reframing capital, women at the forefront of Africa's economic transformation, and we would all agree that right now it's even more important to be able to scale, to be able to ensure that your businesses, are also profitable, and even beyond profits, also ensuring that you're making impact. Because everybody knows the saying, even though it's cliche, I think that it's also true that what a man can do, a woman can do better. But the reality on ground as well is that even though this is true for Africans, this is a slightly different narrative. And that is a part of the conversation that we will be having in this fireside chat. So on that note, I'd like to also let people know here that everybody here is a superwoman. And I don't know if everybody here is aware that women in Africa make up 58% of the workforce in Africa, yet we contribute only about 13% to the entire GDP, despite the fact that we have the world's highest number of female entrepreneurs. So Olori, I think that this is us trying to pick crumbs, from under the table, despite all of the things that we've contributed, on the continent. So what do you think it would take for women-led businesses to scale sustainably and even most importantly, drive stronger revenue growth for the continent?
Thank you very much. Good morning, House. Good morning, everyone. I think can I adjust myself? Yeah. I don't want to back those I'm speaking to, if that's okay. So we'll keep it this way. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all this morning. A special thanks to Isioma. Can we just celebrate her, please? If you've put together an event before, you know that a lot of things happened for this to happen. All right, and it's not just to appreciate her, but to thank her. I don't know why, but for the last 2 days, the title, Africa Female CEO, I've just been like, who gave her that name? Because it is so profound, and I hope you get to take this all across the nations of Africa. This is the least that you will do, and I'm so sure that every woman here will support you when you get to the point when you need to get there. Because if she can do it in Nigeria, trust me, all those other countries, we are leading. As much as you don't like your country, some of you, Nigeria is far advanced compared to some other African nations. I was in one last week. I lived in Liberia. Trust me, Nigeria is advanced. So please thank her again, and God bless you highly. To your question, and thank you for having me as well, I don't agree that women need financing. I don't. And I'll explain what we need. Shall I tell you the number one thing? Customers. You don't have enough customers. And I can prove it because a lot of the government programs, a lot of the corporate offtakes are not given to women. When you have customers, I'm telling you, you take your invoice to the bank, they will beg you with money. I've seen it happen many times. So the first thing actually, when we're talking about helping women scale, can we have quotas for women to join, create procurement programs? There's a company, and I was trying to remember it before I came on stage, but I hope it comes back to me. This company is, of course, women-centric. They help women with getting customers. Now, I want to say something. Instagram customers are not what you need. That's not how you're going to measure your growth. That you had, 100 DMs about a skirt you are selling. In the global scale, it's okere. You see now, you're bringing out the Yoruba. Right? So customers are the first thing, not capital. The second thing I believe will help women scale is having financing options that meet our needs. Let me explain. If, for example, a woman says to you, I don't have collateral, and she has Nestle, Unilever, Coca-Cola, all as her customers, please, is she not bankable? So because she doesn't have a house or land, she's automatically out of the equation. Does that make sense? It doesn't. So I consult for DFIs, development finance institutions, and most recently commercial banks to help them repackage their financing options. For example, what will help women scale? I know this because in the Borderless Trade Network, some of our borderless women are doing exceptional things. But the financing available, they never fit. It's never a fit. So here are my recommendations for the different ways that we can help women scale with finance. Number one, finance the invoice and stop financing the collateral. Because I don't understand how that makes any sense, right? I'm glad the banks that we've been speaking to, in fact, it's as if the scale came off their eyes. I asked one guy the other day, I said, where did collateral start? He said, that's how it's been now. I said, since this 12th century, 12th. And you don't think you should break that traditional mold on how you serve people finance, especially women. So number one is purchase order financing. Give people advance cash when they have a purchase order. Another one is invoice financing, where we say, okay, if the person has the invoice, give them what we call like cash to actually do the job. Oh my goodness, how many of you know someone here who lost an order because she couldn't fulfill it because she didn't have the money? Isn't that painful? So is it really that we are small business owners, or we are actually kept small with the financing options? You have to ask, which one is it? The third thing I would say is revenue-based financing. How many of you have seen Access Bank recently telling you, you can take a loan, 50% of your salary will give you. But I'm wondering, as a business owner, if you've seen that I do between 2 to 5 million every month, is that not my own version of a salary? So why don't you give people, even if it's 30% of what they have on a revenue that is solid, give them financing based on that. And then the last one is one of my favorites, because I think it is not yet like popular in Nigeria, but it's something we should really, really look into, which is warehousing financing. That if I have a lot of agro women, so let's say they have cocoa in their warehouse. She should be able to borrow against the cocoa in her warehouse, right? It may not be as much, but it is still cocoa that is, we know is number one. That's the number one agro product that is being exported out of Nigeria. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys, right?
Yes, you
So
are.
these financing options should be what we start telling the banks to give women so we can scale. They should stop saying women's small business. That phrase makes me, I want to give the person that came up with the phrase, a blessing. Let's call it that, right? A knock, I should be real, okay, a knock. And then number 3 would be, we need to help women strengthen productivity. What do I mean? Certifications, standards, equipment. All these things I'm calling out are money. You understand? Sometimes I look at some business owners. How many of you have seen those vendors online where, maybe they are a ready-to-wear fashion brand, and they post the dress and they write sold out, and you're like, how do you do this thing? How do you do it, right? Can I say to you that sort of woman, number one, she's great at marketing. You see a situation where someone like that is writing sold out, you're like, or, I won't mention the brand, you see them bring truck of, and you're like, listen, what's going on here? Are we all in this same fashion business? You are not. What you are using to trade is one machine. They have aggregated machines somewhere that you're not aware of. There are tricks to the trade, and I'm really glad we're talking about it. To scale, one of the tricks you must learn is how to produce more.
That's interesting.
And to produce more, you have to know who has the machines that I don't have. So I am pleading, thank you. You can just open it a bit. I'm pleading to the different agencies that say they want to help, like UNDP now. They are amazing, guys. What they're doing for women entrepreneurs. If you're not plugged into their community, please go on their website, look for their Nigeria office and find out how. What I know we need now are shared facilities, shared labs, shared facilities, so that the cost of your product for doing one jacket is no longer 92,000. So you can compete with the lady saying sold out, and she's selling her own for 27K. And you're like, how can she do that? She can do that because she has more at her disposal. Thank you. Right? And then the final thing I would say is, we keep talking about infrastructure. We need more infrastructure. Well, one of the things, or one of the most overlooked infrastructure that women need is actually care support. I can't imagine that some of you, by 2 o'clock, you start rushing out of here because you need to pick up your children. Mm-hmm. Is your husband the one doing it? For some of you, yes, maybe 2%. Right? Mm-hmm. The care as infrastructure for women entrepreneurs is a necessary part of the equation when we talk about scale. So I'll stop there, but those 4 things come to mind, whether it's that we need to, first of all, sort out demand for women entrepreneurs and their products, financing options that suit the kind of businesses we have, and then, of course, when we're looking at productivity, can we now have shared labs, quality testing labs, so that the cost of your certification is not as high as, and then, of course, care. I, for one, am advocating. I have children, so I know how hard sometimes it is when mommy is not around, and then mom guilt steps in, and you're just trying to be a woman entrepreneur. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to state that she has actually helped women MSMEs get fundings of up to $3 million. So she's a very, very important resource. I believe that you should have further conversations with her if you're looking to scale. But there was something that you mentioned. You talked about, like the customers. So of that, I wanted to ask, we've seen quite a number of women who have, or there seems to be some sort of stereotype where women are either selling hairs, or they're selling cosmetics, things like that. It looks like we have subconsciously boxed ourselves, into certain kinds of niche. What do you think do you think that we're thinking enough? Or do you think that we're just trying to experiment because we've seen, there's a one-hit, I won't say one-hit wonder, but there are people that are already at the top of the cadre. What do you think that women are not doing, I won't say right per se, but what do you think that we should be doing instead of focusing on, because everybody knows that women sell hairs, then I should maybe do that?
Honestly, that question is very good, very, very good. And here's what I will say to that, right? We need to understand that Nigeria actually wires you to be a certain way. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, when you are out of school, you are either a tailor, hairdresser, makeup artist. In fact, I had a mom tell me 2 days ago, her daughter had come to me to say, ma, please, her daughter is 14, and she was like, she wants me to be her mentor. And I was so moved, and she was like, but ma, I need your help. She's 14, remember. And she says, but my dad says that I cannot pursue entrepreneurship as a graphics designer.
Wow.
And I said, why? And the mom answered me, we're thinking she should go into makeup. Stereotypes. I thought to myself, I said, this is the problem. Engineering from a very young age into, this is only what women do. Don't go into all this because that's not what women do. Women do it all. If we're given the chance, we can do it. And we will do it better. It's not even a joke. It's not even a joke. All right? So I told the mother immediately, I said, absolutely not. How can someone tell you that she wants to go into graphics design? You're not even encouraging the fact that she's thinking outside the box. So the second issue is we don't reward innovative thinking. We don't reward divergent thinking. We don't make people feel good when they are different. We make them feel like, your own is too much. Because in other words, that's what her father was saying. Hey, what are you doing there? Your people and your type are in this. So how do you beat a system when it's in your house? I hope you know same is true for marriage.
Yes.
Some women cannot even think of being certain things because their spouse does not believe that that's what women do. You tell your husband you want to be a farmer. You say, Agbe. Are you getting my point? And you're like, but that's what I know I can do. So it's just the way our society has actually groomed people, women and girls, into thinking we are only good enough for certain jobs, industries, roles, including senior leadership. Mm-hmm. You know what? I had and I'm going to post, let me ask you guys, if you think it's a good idea, then I'll take it to those that have the powers that be. Do you know, I was thinking, because I deal with investment in terms of allocation and criteria and all those things. I was going to suggest to a particular bank that in their next round of funding, all of you, if I say the name of the bank, you know them. It starts with B, ends with I. I don't know more than that. Right? These guys, I'm thinking we should remove if the founder is male or female and leave it as business idea. And see whether women will get more funding as a result of that. Yeah. Leave the issue of the founder is Titi Lola. No, leave it. Just tell us what is the business, proof of concept, criteria for the loan you need or whatever, and you'll see what will happen. There will be a greater allocation to women entrepreneurs. But the bias already starts when they see a woman is the one heading a business, even if your figures are bigger than the male. So can you see where the bias is? It's institutional, yeah. It's in the family, it's in the job. Like, what did we do? But our time is now. We have changed. We are ready for anything they want to do. I told a lady 2 days ago, I said, listen, she works with me. Oh gosh, it's so institutional. Because she actually is my domestic help. And she told me she wants to go to university. And I said, what changed your mind? Because I remember when she came and I was telling her, Christiana, you're not doing anything when I'm not home and the children are not home. Go to school, go and get. I said, I just want to marry. I said, hey. But that's what her father maybe told her. Get a job, get married, everything is fine. So you can see what we're up against. Those are the glass ceilings we have to break. And the women to do that are in the room with us this morning.
Yes, yes. Yes, so I mean, that already sort of answered the second question. But then I also wanted to ask, even beyond that, what do you think, or where do you think are the strongest opportunities for growth?
For women, entrepreneurs?
Yes.
Ladies, I'm about to share some things that I don't believe more than maybe 5% of people know in the room. All right? So please, if you were distracted before, let's just, for a few minutes, just quickly bring ourselves together. One of the things that has helped me scale into trade, then into investment, is very simple. Information. If you don't know where they are sharing the cake, I hope you know you can't even know the color of the cake, the taste of the cake. You even know there's cake.
Yes.
One of the things you will need, how many of you sell a product here? Let me get your hands. Product. You're not a lot. Behind the camera. Okay, product-based. Those of you that are in service-based. Service-based? Okay, but I'm assuming those who do 9 to 5 are not here. Are you here? Remote. Let them call a quick meeting. You say, my camera is not really. Okay. Cameraman, they are talking to you, so you can't say you can't hear us. So you will not do that. Not while I'm on seat. It's our meeting, mind you. Speak up. That's part of it. All right. Number one is the opportunities that trade houses. How many of you know what a trade house is? All right. Nobody really. Okay. A trade house is simple. And when we finish this meeting, part of the things, I hope you are one of those people that write the things you must do immediately after a meeting.
Yeah.
Please, it's not that, wow. What's wow? What a conference. My life is changed. In 1 year is how we'll know, right? But what I want you to do is go on, those of you in products specifically, go on NEPC's website. NEPC is our National Export Promotion Agency, right? They are in charge of ensuring people like you and I have our products in other countries aside Nigeria. They are. That's their job, to promote your products. Okay? Mm-hmm. They have trade houses. Let me tell you, a trade house is simple. Think of an airport, MM1. So what they do is they collect your products, a sample, right? They put that sample in the airport, and then they get buyers to come and look at the product on your behalf. Isn't that good? So you don't need to go everywhere. You actually just need to ensure you have the right trade house. They have trade houses in Lome. For some of you that have spices, like certain things that some of us do. And you said something about the beauty industry. Actually, the beauty industry is one of the fastest growing worldwide. For wrong reasons and right reasons. But yeah, right?
Yes.
So if you're in beauty, of course, please, you are all welcome. Whether food, beauty, whatever. So far you have a product. They have in China. I'm excited about that one. I found out about it just in a meeting like this. I was like, we have an export trade house in China. Where have I been? Right? Mm-hmm. So NEPC has an office in Lagos. They have in Abuja. If I were you and I am you, I would go there and ask, how can I stock my products in your trade house they have in Dubai. They have in Dubai as well. So you don't need visa again. Please tell your neighbor you need to go and get a trade house.
And also note it down, please. Right? Note it down.
So those trade houses are super important because it helps with the cost of your product. How many of you here do ginger, for example? Ginger. You do
Always
ginger?
in the hand, yes.
And who else? Who else does? Okay, who else does you do ginger? So imagine the two of you now come together and go to the trade house. One of the things I will beg you, who does shea butter? One
hand.
Maybe I should have asked for some of the things.
Hands.
3 hands, okay. Yes. Do you know that shea butter is in such high demand, we can't meet the demand globally? I want you to be very clear about what you are selling by the end of this fireside. Some of you are selling the wrong thing. Please don't be offended. Celebrate you. Right? I get some people, when I finish a meeting like this, they'll come to me, Ma, I have, let me use something neutral so that the person selling this does not come for me. Zobo. Zobo. Sorry. Let's say Zobo, for example, right? The person says, Ma, I have Zobo, I sell it. How many will she sell to fit a truck? 40 foot. How many Zobo will you sell? I tell women, go for more. The more is in the things that you don't think sells. Things like, somebody was telling me, she wrote to me, she was like, she's in the UK, she was like, Olori, in my village, we have so much of, she mentioned the products and all of that. I said, sorry, aren't you supposed to be on a shift? Because that's how you people think. She said, Olori, I see the opportunity and I see the demand. Women, please, you will need to recalibrate what you are selling. the market is not big enough for what you are selling. You see that wig you are mentioning, the market is massive in East Africa. All this one we are doing in Nigeria, when an East African comes to our country, they feel overwhelmed. They say we are too beautiful. Because in their own side, what is wig? Wig is a luxury. Here, not all of us, but you understand what I was about to say. Right? So the opportunity actually is in the products that you are not thinking of that is sellable. You might actually be in the wrong business. That's what I'm trying to go for. This number 3 that I will share, I wrote it down yesterday night because it came to me. I'm exploring it. Like I told you, I've been in. You see what I mean? How come the baby's not with the dad? Why is it with mommy? Why is the baby with mommy? Think about it. But these are the realities, and it's not skewed in our favor all the time. But anywho, the third one that I want to share is an opportunity that I think we can explore if we are in clusters of 5, 7. Why? It's a bit expensive to do, but banks will fund that faster than they will fund your business. What is it? Franchise. Do you know that if you bring in a product today that already has approvals, certification, labels, packaging, I hope you know with franchise, you can't really change much. Or maybe you can, because Burger King started selling Ewa. I say which kind of problem, but adaptation is necessary. But I'm trying to say, why don't we cut the corner and just do an existing export product in another country? Is anyone seeing what I'm saying?
Yes.
Rather than trying to sell my Zobo, I can go and get another packaged drink, similar, it's in the beverage category. Maybe you go to, and I urge you, please, Isioma, I hope it's something that you will begin to partner with agencies to help a lot more women here so that you can start going for trade fairs and conferences abroad. Why? You can actually begin to create your own market once you make good connections. I still did it last week. If you sit down in Lagos expecting everything to come to you, you are waiting for, I don't know. Franchising is one of the fastest ways for us to actually penetrate the market we are in today. Consider it. It's a licensing. It's so good. I won't overflog it. I think the other thing is for those in services. And let me quickly speak to those in services. If you're in service exports, you are actually on a faster track than those with products.
How so?
Because, let me use a good example of myself. Like I told you, I consult for banks, and I do it from Nigeria. They employ my services. They are maybe based in Egypt or based in, I don't know, Kenya. But I'm able to sell what I do in dollars, right? And able to say, I would send my knowledge to you. I will sell it to you. That young girl of 14 that I said wants to be a graphics designer, she can start making money in 3 weeks. My graphics designer is in the house. I won't embarrass him. But I really believe service products like that, where you are good at something and you don't need to be there physically. I saw a post. I don't know if anyone has seen it. The guy is in Australia. He was lamenting on Instagram. Tell me, please ask me what he was saying.
What was he saying?
He said, Nigerians, stop letting them rip you off. They will be telling you should come and do a design for 40,000. When here they are paying us $100 per design. In my mind, I want to say, God, please don't let my graphics guys see this. You can't use it against me. This was null and void, all right? Right? But that guy has already exported his services to Australia. Can you imagine how many clients he has? He's probably in one corner in Enugu. Facts. I can just tell you by the way he was looking. If you are a consultant in the room, if you offer PR, marketing, if you offer things like digital content creation, all of that, You might want to change your audience. Your next prayer point can actually be, Father, change my audience. It's not a bad prayer. Naira is enough. Abi now. Who doesn't like a little euro, dollar? Let the credit alert be in foreign currency. Amen?
Amen. That was very insightful. So my next question is this. We've seen a lot of times, we know that when decisions, are being made in certain rooms about capital, a lot of times we have men there. And we've seen how this has actually played as well in, like you said earlier, the distribution, of capital. So how do you think that the systems that are existing can be redesigned? Is there any practical or any example, that you can give that can affect the system in such a way that it is redesigned to ensure that, there is a more productive flow of capital for women?
Okay. A quick backstory. When we started Borderless Trade, it was that I was super passionate about increasing the participation of women in trade. That was my goal. I started it first year, second year. By second year, I was tapped out because the women kept coming back with issues. Man, NAFDAC has not given me approval. How many of you are putting NAFDAC in your prayers? Because they need it, right? SON.
Oh, SON.
And these women will come with different issues because it is so stringent for them to actually break through. And then you will hear the common one: I don't have money to improve my business, operations, production, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, God, when does this problem end? Then I realized that money was the underlying issue I needed to address quickly. So that was when I put investment in the play. You can't do trade without investment. Let me tell you today. No matter what, no matter how good your product is, your Ankara pants can be beautiful. If you don't have money to push it, nobody is getting it. Nobody is going to buy it from you. Now, don't forget I said what was important first: customers. I want you to watch this play. Let's use the 3 C's as the coinage for this distribution of capital. First one is the committee. The committee here refers to the people that are decision makers. Ladies, and I wish we were not recording, but it's okay. If I check your phone today and I don't see decision makers on your phone, you have a long way to go. Allocation is not based on, I like your products. It's on, who are you? In this part of the world, that's how they roll. They don't roll by, I hope you know it's even as bad as your surname. They'll be asking you, which Ajayi? I say, I don't know. It's one Ajayi. Like when they ask me which Ajayi, I say, I don't have any other Ajayi. It's the Ajayi I married. Right? I quickly realized that capital distribution is based on who, when you enter a meeting, you have looked at and said, I'm not going to ask for a selfie. I'm going to ask for a quick 15 minutes at their earliest convenience. Don't ask me for 15 minutes because you wait till December. No. If you can. I have people that wait. They don't mind. They don't mind. And you can't mind when you are the one that needs something. My mentors do it to me. My sponsors do it to me. They make me wait. And I don't mind. Right? Now, when we talk about committee is when Isioma wanted to do this program. Right? I see Sterling, I see, all the different partners. Why did they decide to partner with her? What are you doing that is big enough for people to partner with? We can't partner with your clothing business if all you want to do is increase revenue. Do you understand? You need to find a bigger reason. I can't fund your program because you're trying to reach women. That's not good enough for me at this level, right? So the committee we're talking about here are the people you have put in place that will fight for your cause when you're not in the room. And they will say, no, let's give Africa female CEO 5 million. Let's just give him $5 million. I've seen it happen. The way they even choose is funny. You'll be like, may there be someone speaking for me when I'm not in the room. It's somebody that just says it. Yeah. The issue is, though, there are only 2 women to every 8 men. Right? Mm-hmm. So guess what I started doing? Ishioma, I started looking for male sponsors. Last week, I went to the MD of a particular bank in my industry. I said, sir, please, I need to see you. I started from when I saw him in Paris. I saw him, you know, when the security bag, they're checking us. I already mapped him. I said, I've been looking for this man. He's going for the same meeting. I knew he was. So I was just, checking. I hope, some of us, spirit, start praying, Baba Joe, open the door. We got to where we were going, and I said to him, I don't even know where the confidence came, because I don't even like asking for things, typically. And I said to him, I said, sir, please, I'd like to see you at some point during this conference. He said, oh, sure. Let me tell you another reason why I go for conference. I can't believe I'm sharing my secret. What did you pray with? Isham? What was this? What's going on? Right? I remember saying to myself that I will only meet the people that will take me to the next stop. I don't have time for everybody on a trip, but I have time for people that will take me to the next stop. And this man says to me, he's like, sure, we'll see. So first day, I see him again. I do the eye like, sir, I'm still waiting. He's like, no, don't worry. All of that. By day 2, he sees that this girl's not letting up. He says, okay, let's see this evening, right? So I go and I, speak to him. I'm talking about the committee, so you can understand how money flows. Don't let's just make it textbook, because I can talk about what I can talk about. And I said to him, sir, all I'm asking for is, remember when you were in your late 30s, early 40s, and all you had was this experience that was limited, your scope of life and this industry, blah, 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 blah. He laughed. He said, that was a long time ago. I said, I know, sir. And he said, okay, so what are you asking? I said, sir, I would like you to sponsor me. He said, for what? I said, what I want to ask is not a word I think mentors like. So I won't use mentor me. He said, oh. So what do you do? So I told him what I do. He was like, wow, you're already doing well. All of that. I said, sir, I can do better. But I need your help. And I looked him dead in the eye, and he saw my cry in that statement. I said, I need your help. I don't know how to navigate this level I'm on. Look, you can't know how to navigate money at every level without help. And because he's the MD, I know he knows what he knows. And he said to me, he was like, Olori, of course, don't worry. That don't worry, I didn't like it. So day 3, day 4, day 5, I was with him every day. This morning, he texted me and he was like, when you get into this country, come and see me. Let's talk about a proper fine line. And please don't get ideas. Not everyone is after you to sleep with you.
Yes.
Be delivered of such rubbish thoughts.
Yes.
Don't let the past influence you in thinking only men, that every man wants to sleep with me.
People are genuinely
What's
interested
that?
in you. Yes.
You attract what you are saying. So that's the committee angle. The second is very simple. The criteria. I said it already. I won't go over it. The issue of collateral, using things, family assets to discuss money. I always wonder, is it that these banks are not thinking, right? Changing the kind of collateral. Because you talked about distribution of capital. I explained the ways we can start financing women. And then the last one, you could argue that it's debated whether or not we're now pushing ourselves out there too much, which is the care, element of things. But it is still an infrastructure that is needed for women, all right? So I'll stop with those 3 so I don't overflog us.
Yeah. So my last question will be, because we're trying to round up now, my last question would be, what would you say are the key elements of building scalable supportive ecosystems? I believe you've answered that.
Yeah, I have in some ways. So I'll just round it off, because in a meeting like this, if I start talking about the ecosystem and only one side of the, not one side, but one group of the ecosystem are in the room. If the banks were here and, is Sterling Bank here?
Yes.
Ishema, who's Sterling?
Hello, Jane.
Hello, Jane. And you can help us take our message to the powers that be. Our message is simple. We are not saying that the bank is not a business and you have your goals and targets, but all your risk, assets and all those portfolios that you're trying to build. So for example, portfolio guarantees should also be part of what enables women, isn't it? To say, okay, we can save, that we can safeguard different loans that women will take. So invite all those other stakeholders to the table. Let them be a part of the packages you design for women so that they can take the burden off us. I know some portfolio guarantees that do up to 60%. Yeah. So if that is already covered, why are you still afraid of giving me money? Are you seeing what I'm trying to say? And I know that obviously you have your, superiors and things like that, but it is a conversation in your Monday meetings that you can have on our behalf to say, you know what, why don't we start with a pilot study? That was how some of the development agencies we worked with today started. They said, okay, how can we create markets for women? Do you know what they did? They got people in Kenya, women entrepreneurs, got some in Ghana, got some in Nigeria. I think they started with 10. And those 10 women in each region were the ones that actually kickstarted what today is a fantastic program for intra-Africa trade. Isn't that just easy? Now, I know you guys are always looking for scale, numbers, and the bottom line, all of that. But my advice is, can we co-create with the bank? Invite Isioma to the bank and say, Isioma, okay, you know what? You have your network, your cluster. What are you guys looking for? What are your pain points? Don't shave our head in our absence. Don't create products for us that you believe we need. It has to be specific, it has to meet our needs, and it has to be fully accessible. And please don't announce another fund again. I've said if I hear another company say, we have just announced a 5 billion fund, how many people are getting the money?
Yes. That's an important question.
Please, it's okay. Don't announce anything again. Just give us the money. Are we in support?
Yes.
Please tell the banks, give us the money.
Sterling Bank, please give us the money.
I wasn't going to be direct, Jane. I didn't mention anybody. But yes, I think that's what I would say. Let's just all be a bit more intentional. Women, I'm urging you, I'm begging you, don't wait for opportunities. Things are opening up across Africa. Women that don't have half of what you have are doing more than you. Way more. It's unreal. They are doing more with cotton. They are doing more with wig. They are doing more with, you name it, slippers. I saw a girl the other day, 3 containers of bags. I won't mention her name.
Wow.
I say, hey. So ask yourself, what am I really doing? And I'll end with this question because I like it to enter well. Are you making money?
Everybody, I think you should ask yourselves, are you making money? Thank you very much. This is such an insightful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.